What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Zeb, and welcome to the Tuesday night rehab virtual experience. We call this life study, and I'm excited to be here with you tonight on this very cold Tuesday night, and grateful to be here and really excited to finally start a Tuesday on time. It was an incredibly busy day for me, um, and but I had to start on time. I've got a hard stop tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and so I want to get started. I want to teach for about a good solid 40 minutes tonight. And I want to get right into this message. We are continuing with part 2 of From Hurt to Whole Season. And we started this Sunday, and it was a very powerful time, and so powerful that we absolutely completely ran out of time on Sunday, and we're here for part 2. So I need you to start inviting people now. I'm going to run through our channels in 90 seconds, and then I'm getting right into the word. I've got to finish this lesson. I've got to finish all of this by 8 o'clock. We've got to continue on to something else Sunday. And again, it was not my intention for us to be on part 2 tonight of this particular message. And I don't want to create a series within the series, but this was such a powerful message that we shared Sunday. And again, so very grateful that you tuned in with us. Again, start sharing this video, start liking this video, regardless of the channel, the network that you're on. Start liking this video, sharing this video. And we're going to go through the channels really quickly, and let's get right into it. Facebook, good. I was about to say good morning. Good evening to you. Good to see you virtually. Facebook, those of you that are tuned in via Facebook, if you're on, do me a favor, hit that like button, hold it down, turn it to a love. Hit that share button, hit the @ symbol, and I want you to tag 5 people now and tell them to tune in for part 2 of From Hurt to Whole Season. It's about to get good, and we're going to continue and pick right up where we left off on Sunday. And I'm excited to be here with you, Facebook. Thank you for tuning in. If you are tuned in via Facebook, thank you so much. You can follow us on Facebook at the Rehab Christian Center, simply the Rehab Christian Center. You can find us there. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, like us on Facebook. And thank you, Facebook, for tuning in. Instagram, good evening to you. Thank you for tuning in. Instagram, y'all got to do me a favor. I need you to not only like this video, I need you to start tagging people right away. You know how people do on Instagram. Y'all are always late for church. And so I need you to start tagging people right away. I am done tonight. I got to finish at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And so I want to get right into this. If you're tuning in on Instagram, make sure you say good evening. And then I want you to hit that @ symbol. I want you to tag 5 of your friends right now and tell them to tune in for this very powerful message. Part 2 of From Hurt to Whole Season. We are in full effect tonight. And I'm ready to pick up where I left off Sunday. And we're going to run right through the end of this. We should easily be able to finish in 40 minutes. And so I want to get into this tonight. And thank you again, Instagram, for tuning in. If you are not following us on Instagram, you can follow us on Instagram at TheREHABexperience. That's at TheREHABexperience on Instagram. You can follow us there. And I highly encourage all of you to tune in and do just that. YouTube, good evening to you. Those of you that are tuned in via YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in, for sharing with us tonight. If you're on YouTube, do me a favor. Make sure you like this video on YouTube. If you are not following us on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. On YouTube, you can follow us at TheREHABCC. That's at TheREHABCC. On YouTube, you can follow our channel, our network. You can go back and see an archive of all of the messages we have taught, as well as the running comments from all of our networks there. It's a powerful channel, and we encourage you to follow it. Also, if you are on YouTube, I want you to hit that share button, and I need you to tag. I need you to tag 5 people. And tell them to tune in. Tag 5 people and tell them to tune in because we want them to get on the line. This is a very powerful message that we're going to be sharing tonight, and we're grateful to be here on YouTube. So again, thank you so much. If you're not following us, subscribed on YouTube, you can subscribe at TheREHABCC. All right, that's at TheREHABCC. Now, let's get into this part 2. I want you to type in the comments. I told you I'm rolling tonight. I got to get in it. I've got to finish what I'm dealing with. So I need y'all to start tagging people. Instagram, wake up the people. Get the people on the line real fast. They slow the church. I need y'all to start tagging people really quickly tonight, because I don't want anybody to miss this. But I want you to go ahead and put the topic in the chat area. From Hurt to Whole Season. This is part 2. From Hurt to Whole Season is what we're dealing with. We're in this Thirst Traps Cuffing Season series. And this thing kicked off about 2 weeks ago. And this has been a very powerful time. And I certainly hope that the series has been as big of a blessing to you as it has so many people that tune in to us week after week. And again, just very grateful that you tune in with us and that you're with us tonight. Now, Sunday, where I left off was describing the 5 stages of grief, right? And we took the majority of Sunday to really lay a foundation about the heart and the deception that is oftentimes connected to the heart, and not only the deception connected to the heart, but then how that deception plants seeds of pain that create trauma in our lives that we have to in turn deal with. And so we spent a lot of time laying a very, very firm foundation. If you did not watch part 1, go back and watch the replay of part 1, because it's going to make so much of what I say tonight make even more sense. Again, we spent a nice foundation or a nice amount of time laying a foundation Sunday about that. Now, we got to the 5 stages of grief, and we talked through stages 1, 2, and 3. Stage 1 being denial and isolation. All right, the 5 stages of grief. Stage 1, denial and isolation. We said stage 2 was anger. And we talked about stage 2 being the beginning of the middle stages, right? And those middle stages, for those of you that weren't tuned in, those middle stages really being the stages where pain resides, right? Yes, pain resides in denial and isolation, but it is through those middle stages that oftentimes we see the effects or the responses to trauma, the responses to pain, the response to hurt, right? So we said in stage 2, anger, this is where revenge lives, i.e. somebody does something to you, you do something back to them. Someone hurts you in a relationship, you go back and you get back on them, right? Somebody cheats on you, you go back and you cheat on them, right? It's phase 1 of the middle phase of the 5 stages. That was a mouthful. It's phase 1 of the middle stage of the 5 stages of grief, right? And that's anger. We said stage 3 was bargaining, right? And this was the middle of the middle stage, meaning this is where vulnerability lives. This is where settling lives. This is where many of you found yourself increasing your body count because you became vulnerable and susceptible to any and everything because you were in the middle of your hurt phase, right? Stage 3 is the middle of the hurt, the middle of the grief, the middle of the pain stage, right? And that's that stage that we spend some time talking about how everything begins to look good to you. Everything begins to look appealing to you. Everything begins to look attractive to you. Everything that's presented to you seems to be a decent idea. We talked about this being the most dangerous phase of the 5 phases because, again, when you've been hurt, when you've gone through an element of pain or trauma regarding relationships or any other connections you've had in your life, it is during this phase of your life that it is critically important that you take a step back and realize that just because something is available does not mean it's good for you. I want you to record that now. Just because it's available doesn't mean it's good. Okay? Record this. This is your first note. You're going to be the smartest person at the water cooler tomorrow. Again, just because it's available does not mean it's good. And when you are in the middle of this 5 stages of grief, of pain, of trauma, of hurt, you will find yourself taking a look at things that are available, and because they are available, calling what's available good. And something can be available to you and not necessarily good for you. And when you've been hurt, you sometimes confuse what's available with what's good. Okay, am I making sense already? You confuse what is available with what's good. And because something is good or has presented itself in your life, especially after you've been hurt by someone, something else in the past, we confuse that availability with goodness, and it's not always the same, right? This is where the place, this is the space where we see things like convenience, right? You know, I'm laughing because this is a lot. I'm laughing because when you go through situations like this for real, if I can just if I can just keep it candid with y'all, I'm cracking myself up. If I can keep it candid with y'all, when you go through something for real, sometimes you will find yourself in a cycle of entertaining things that are convenient when you know they're not good for you, right? Sometimes things aren't good, they're just convenient. Are y'all listening to me? Sometimes things aren't good, they're just convenient. And you've got to be careful between the two. You can get satisfaction out of something that's convenient, but just because it is convenient for you does not mean it is good for you, right? Or just because something is convenient to you, rather, it doesn't mean that it is good for you. All right. And so some things that are good are not always convenient. And this is where the bargaining space is, right? And I challenge you Sunday. I want to challenge you again tonight. Stop settling. Stop settling. I don't care how painful the breakup was, how painful the divorce was, how painful the friendship breakup split apart was. If you're used to being friends with people that are quality people, don't go out here and get some bummy friends just to have somebody to go to brunch with. Maybe, just maybe, God has you in a season where he wants you to go to brunch by yourself. Okay? Maybe, just maybe, God has you in a season where he wants you to have brunch and mimosas and whatever you do by yourself. So stop settling. Stop settling for any old kinds of friends just because your longtime friends have broken your heart or hurt your feelings. Stop settling for any kind of relationship just because the long-term relationship you were in failed you or let you down. I said it Sunday, I'll say it again. Stop settling for sixes when all you know you've ever had is nines and tens. Y'all stop settling. This is so important because when you start settling, you find yourself living in a space called convenience, right? Y'all ever heard the phrase convenience store? Let me just give, this ain't in my notes. I love Revelation though. Ever heard the phrase convenience store? You stop by the do you know why they call it the convenience store? Does anybody know why they call the convenience store, Sheetz, Wawa, wherever you go? Does anybody know why they call it the convenience store? Let me tell you why they call it the convenience store. A convenience store is not designed to provide to you everything you need. A convenience store is designed to provide you enough to get by. Somebody better catch the revelation. A convenience store, Wawa, Sheetz, Exxon, whatever. A convenience store is not designed to give you what you need per se. A convenience store is designed to give you enough just to get by. Some of you are in seasons not called good. You're in seasons called convenient. And when you are in convenient seasons, you end up linking up with people that are not necessarily good for you, but you end up linking up with people that are good enough for you to get by. And this tends to happen in stage 3 of the Greek process that we know as bargaining. When you bargain, when you settle, when you become vulnerable, you find yourself operating much the same way. And it's crazy. You stop back and ever bought some toothpaste at the convenience store? Ever bought some deodorant at the convenience store? It's so crazy that when you buy that stuff at the convenience store, what happens to the price? Price goes way up. The price of deodorant in the convenience store, of toothpaste in the convenience store, makeup. Some convenience stores have makeup in the convenience store goes way up. You know why? Because you have no business getting it from there in the first place. There's a revelation here that y'all ain't catching. And that is that when you start getting things that you need from convenient spaces, you end up paying a greater price. Somebody needs to record that. When you start trying to get what you need from convenient spaces, you end up paying a greater price. If I don't say nothing else, I just said enough. When you start getting stuff you need from convenience spaces, you end up paying a greater price. Some of y'all paying $8 for a tube of deodorant, when if you would just get it from the place you're supposed to get it from, you would not have to pay more for what you just got. This includes your relationships, your friendships, or any other ships you have in your life. So much like we overpay at convenience stores for things that we need, we overpay in life when we attempt to, in stage 3 of the grief process, when we attempt to get our needs fulfilled from spaces that are just convenient. Never get your needs. That's a word right there. Never get your needs fulfilled in spaces that are just convenient. Never get your needs filled in spaces that are just convenient, because when you do, you're going to pay a greater price. All right. So that's stage 3. Now, stage 4, I got to hurry. I got to give you stage 4 and 5. I got to give you 3 practical things. I'm done. Stage 4 of the grief process, I want you to record this, is depression. Okay. Record this. Stage 4 of the grief, 5 stages of grief process is depression. Stage 4 of the 5 stages of grief is depression. What happens in the depression stage? Well, stage 4 is the end of the middle stage. We said stage 2 was the beginning. Stage 3 is the middle of the middle phase. Stage 4 is the end of the middle stage. And in this stage called depression, this is where guilt and fear live. In stage 4 called depression, this is where guilt and fear live. So you have already experienced a season of revenge, anger, where you're trying to get back, you're trying to get even, you're pissed off. You've experienced stage 3 of bargaining, where you start settling for 6s instead of dealing with 10s, right? You start getting your needs fulfilled in spaces that are convenient instead of spaces that are good. And then at the tail end of this middle phase is this phase called depression, where guilt and fear lives. Can I help y'all? When you spend a lot of time in phase 3, that convenient phase, where you're dealing with stuff and people that are beneath you, that ain't even on your level, but it's just giving you a temporary feel, a temporary fix. If you any kind of a decent person, when you get to stage 4 of grief, which is depression, you'll start feeling guilty. You'll start feeling bad about the time you wasted in phases and around people that you should not have wasted. You got to be careful here, because this is the phase that I call the waking up phase. Ever seen the movie Mo Money? This ain't in my notes either. This is good. Ever seen the movie Mo Money, where Damon Wayans' brother, I can't remember his name right now, it's not coming to me. It's the young Sean Wayans, I believe it is. I can't remember. Damon Wayans' brother, it might have been Marlon. Maybe it was Marlon. I can't remember. Where Damon was trying to court Stacey Dash with her fine self. And the young brother got hooked up with the other girl from the movie. And they went out, they had drinks, he dancing, they staggering out the club when it's over. They staggering, he talking about, he tells Damon, I'm about to go home with her. And Damon I think he calls him Casanova or something. And they laughing at him, they staggering, and girl looks at him and says, I'm gonna rock your world. And I was like, he's clearly inebriated. She's clearly inebriated, right? Then the next morning, he wakes up, looks at her, and just starts screaming and acts like it's a fire drill or something for her to rush out. That is the reflection of stage 4 depression. It's the best analogy I could come up with. Stage 4 depression is when you reach that moment where you look back at the stupidity of phase 3 and you ask yourself, how did I put myself in this position? Can I help y'all? Sometimes the thing that sobers you out of a whole season is stage 4, called guilt. When you look back at the stupidity of the things you've done and say, Why did I even allow myself to do that? Yeah, I know y'all are too honest to admit this. Y'all are too honest probably on this conversation to say amen. But if some of you would be honest, some of you had some weigh-ins moments where you did some stupid stuff in phase 3. And then it wasn't until phase 4 when you looked over at what you were laying next to or where you just left and you put your hand over your head and said, what was I thinking? I know. Yeah, they're not going to say amen. Hey, Instagram's quiet. Everybody talking on Facebook and YouTube. It's the truth. This is where guilt and fear lives. The good news is when you get to this phase, you are at the tail end of coming out of this 5 stage of grief. But you got to deal with this phase because this is the phase that I call the sober phase. Stage 4 is what I call the sober phase, where you realize the depth of your stupidity. I know I'm not calling y'all stupid. Let me just talk about me. You realize the depth of your stupidity and you say, I'll never go back and do that again. and you pray that that declaration is permanent. Now, I shouldn't give this example, but I am, because y'all understand this. I teach what you understand. Any of y'all ever been drunk before? Anybody? Ever been drunk? I know the sober phase realizations. Thank you. Anybody ever been drunk before? Don't all answer at once. If you ever been drunk before and you ever been drunk, I mean like staggering drunk or maybe even high, whatever, drunk high, whatever example you want to use, to the point where you barely made it home or maybe you threw up 50 times, that kind of deal. When you were in it, you were just going through it. What happened when you got sick, or when you sobered up the next morning and your head was splitting, or you were giving the toilet what they used to call porcelain hugs, where you were hugging the toilet and you throwing up all night, back and forth from the bathroom, throwing up, falling out all over the place. You going through all of this, and what starts to cross your mind as you sober? Any honest people that have ever been there? You start saying things to yourself like, I'll never drink again. I'm going somewhere with this. Y'all just bear with me. You say stuff to you like, I'll never drink again. I'll never smoke again. I'll never get high again. I'll never do that again. Right? I know all y'all, look at y'all deep folk. Nick, what's that? Sure. I'll never do it again. Now, let me tell you what happens. As you get in this phase of guilt and fear and pain because you hurting, you tired of throwing up, you tired of feeling queasy, your head spinning, all of this stuff, you good for this phase. And then you move on to phase 5, which stage 5, which is acceptance. You accept where you are and you go on. But here's the problem. If you didn't really mean it in stage 4, what tends to happen? You go right back to stage 3. You go right back to the bargaining stage. I'm teaching y'all. You go right back to the settling stage. You go right back to the vulnerability stage. And what do? The very next party you get to, after days have passed and you've sobered up, what do? You right back in the drinking game. You right back into turning up. You taking shots. You doing what you do. And you right back in it again. And what happens? You get sick again. And then you say, I'll never do this again. I'll never get drunk and get that drunk and get this sick again. I'll never get that high and get sick like that again. And what do? Days pass, you sober up. If you didn't mean it, where do you go? You go back to stage 3. You settle. You get right back in the position. You do it again. Are y'all catching the pattern? The same thing applies in your relationships. Because some of you came out of some settling phases. And admittedly, you were in the settling phase because you were hurt. You settled for some 6s because some 10s hurt you. So you settled for some 6s to feel better. You felt better for a little while. You felt guilty for feeling better with 6s and lowering your standards. And so you felt guilty for a little while. When you got over it, because you didn't really mean it, what happened? You got lonely again. And instead of deleting the number, what you do? You call the sixes again. I'm going to let y'all sit there and act like I'm not teaching this. Yes, you did. And you find yourself in cycles with losers. Why? Because if you don't learn in phase 3, if you don't learn in phase 4 of that fear and guilt phase, you are bound to repeat the same cycle again. And some of you are in cycles of whole seasons. I said it. You're in cycles of whole seasons. You know why? Because you had a moment, you was vulnerable, you was hurt, you was first mad, and then you said, you know what, I'm gonna just go do this. I'm gonna go do, and you did it. You came out. You were feeling guilty. You got past the guilt. You cried for a little while, beat yourself up for a little while, and then you came out of that. But because you weren't really healed, you jumped back in too fast. And what did you do? You went right back to a 5 or a 6, and you repeated the same cycle. That's how this stuff works, right? So you got to learn in stage 4. Stage 4, it might be one of the most important stages in this 5 stages of grief, right? When we talk about our heart hurting from experiences that we've experienced, stage 4 might be the most important stage, because if you don't learn in that stage, you're going right back to 3, and you're going to bounce back and forth from 3 to 4, 3 to 4, 3 to 4, 3 to 4, 3 to 4. Settle for 6s, feel bad. Sober up, go back, settle for 6s, feel bad, sober up, feel bad, go back, settle for 6s, feel bad. It's a continual cycle. So you got to learn in phase 4. All right. And once you've learned in phase 4, then you come out the middle phase. You get to phase 5. I want you to record this. So stage 5, which is called acceptance. You accept where you are. You accept what happened. You accept, here we go, not just what they did to you. You accept your role in it. Can I help y'all? I'm going to get in trouble here. I got to hurry up, though. Can I help y'all? Some of y'all are mad at people for what they did, how they hurt you in some of your relationships that you were in, relationships, friendships, platonic, romantic, whatever. Some of you are mad at people because of what they did, but let me help you. The reason why some of you repeat what you have gone through with other people is because in this acceptance phase, all you did was accept what they did. Let me tell you what you didn't accept. You didn't accept your role in it. See, it is one thing to accept what somebody else did to you. It's another thing for you to accept your role in the situation. And some of you are in perpetual cycles of hurt. Why? Because you were easy to accept what people did, but it took you a long time to accept your role in it. It was easy for you to accept that people left you. It was hard for you to accept that you had a bad attitude, and maybe that's why they left. It was hard to accept. It was easy to accept that they cheated on you. This is going to make some of y'all mad. It's easy to accept that they cheated on you. It's going to be hard for you to accept your role in their cheating. Well, Pastor, I can't have a role in people cheating. Yeah, I can't be blamed for people cheating. People grown and do what they want to do. I understand that. I don't disagree with that. But one of the things I will say to you about cheating, and I thought about doing a whole lesson on cheating. I might do a whole message on cheating. I don't know if y'all really ready to handle that. I don't know. But let me just say this, though, and I mean this sincerely. While you cannot blame another whole person for somebody cheating, let me say this, though. Some of us need to be very mindful of our roles in other people's behavior. Now, this is a horrible example. I'm going to get crucified for this. Let me preface this, and I want to say this slow. If I could say it in Spanish, I would. Let me preface what I'm about to say with this. Dr. Zeb is in no way condoning cheating. Okay? Just go ahead and hold your seat because y'all know what's coming. Dr. Zeb is not praising is not encouraging, is not excusing cheating under no circumstance. But can I say this? We need to be mindful of how our behavior impacts other people's behavior. We need to be mindful of our roles in other people's behavior. Let me tell y'all something. Let me just give y'all an example y'all can consume, because you don't want the heavy stuff. If you are married to your spouse, got a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, maybe y'all not married, and your spouse is good to you, your spouse honors you as a partner in your life, spouse is a hard worker, spouse is dedicated, faithful, maybe your spouse is a good parent, good husband, good mother, good father, good mother, checks the boxes. But you talk to your spouse any kind of way, you talk to that spouse any kind of way, you handle that spouse any kind of way, you don't ever want to spend time with that spouse. Y'all don't like the way I'm teaching. It's okay. You don't want to ever spend time with that spouse. You talk to them any kind of way. You real moody and sometime with them. They do everything they can to try to please you. You act like you annoyed by their behavior. You act like you're annoyed by their presence. You can't be surprised if that spouse go to Walmart and somebody roll up and say, "Hey, I think you're a great guy." I know y'all don't like this. I'm gonna get crucified for this, because some of y'all gonna say I condone cheating, and I'm not condoning it. I'm just giving you a very real example. And you can't be mad at that spouse. He or she go to work and hey, lady, I think you're a great woman. I work with you. Everything I see you doing everything right. Let's go grab dinner sometimes. And before you know it, the person that was good to you, that provided for you, that did everything for you, that you did not appreciate, that you didn't celebrate, or that you did not handle the right way, got a whole sneaky link on the side. Now, I know y'all don't want to say amen. It's okay. It's all right. You don't have to agree. I'm going to let you act like you don't understand what I'm saying right now. But I'm giving you wisdom. So I'm not condoning cheating. But what I am suggesting is this: we all have to be mindful of our role in other people's behavior. Period. I ain't saying it's right, but I'm saying you better do everything you can to do right by people. Y'all don't like. Am I making sense? I had to scream once. I just felt like screaming. Am I making sense? You got to make sure you pay attention to your role in other people's behavior. Because some of your spouses, some of your mates got sneaky links. And here we go. Breaking news. It's just not their fault. You got a role to play in it too. You got a role to play in it too. It ain't just their fault. Yeah, they went out and did it. They grown. Can't nobody make them not do something or do something. I get that. And Dr. Zeb's not condoning it. But I am saying it. What I am saying, though, is if you treat them like trash too, you're not making the situation better. Some of you have pushed your spouses, your mates, into the arms of other people because of how you treat them. And then you hit folks with stuff like, well, I just got a bad attitude. I just ain't a morning person. Sometimes my attitude gets the best. I can just be me. Like, this is the generation. I got time, y'all, because I got 3 things I got to deal with. I'm going to give you 3 practical ways to respond to relationship hurt, and I'm done. But this is the generation that praises being mean. Can I tell y'all why sneaky links are on the rise? Y'all want to know why sneaky links are on the rise? Huh? The reason why sneaky links are on the rise is because we praise being mean. This is the generation. Just read your social media feeds. Y'all don't believe what I'm saying. Read your social media feeds. This is the generation that praises being mean. Read it. You will see single men, single women say stuff like, and especially women. Right here is where I'm really going to be specific to women. I'm going to be gender specific here. Yes, men do it too and can do it, but it's on a much smaller scale than women. You have generation, you have loads of single, attractive women who say things like, oh, I can't find somebody. Or they'll say stuff like, I'm just so mean, y'all. I'm so rude. I'm just hard to talk to. I'm just so mean. People just annoy me. I'm easily annoyed. Right. And we praise that stuff. And like 300 people like your picture or your status because you cute. And 300 people like your status about you talking about how mean you are. And then we wonder why sneaky links on the rise. You ain't got a problem with getting nobody. Here's the problem. You got a problem keeping them. No. And I'm especially talking to you rockhead women out there listening to me. I meant it. That praise being mean. You think being mean is cute. And it's so crazy. And I got female friends who do the same foolishness. And I tell them, like, you single, you're attractive, but then you get an attitude when somebody says something to you. How does that work? Like, how do you get a whole attitude when a guy, and he don't even be disrespectful? Hey, ma'am, you got a second? Get away from me. Huh? How can you be surprised? Like, how do you get an attitude when somebody says something to you, but then get surprised when you finally get a guy you like that you can't keep? See, I know y'all don't like this. And I'm telling you, I don't care if you don't like it. Sneaky links are on the rise because some of you women, now again, it ain't just women, but again, I'm using this example specific to you because it's the truth. Some of you women are so busy praising being mean that by the time you get a man, he got to deal with all of that. No, what he go do, he ends up going to get somebody else. And can I help y'all? Let me really bust your bubble. The one he normally get don't look half as good as you. Oh, I'm looking y'all in y'all face tonight. Nope, don't look half as good as you. Curves ain't half as nice as yours. Hair ain't half as nice as yours. None of that. But they probably one thing for sure, two things for certain. One, they probably way nicer than you. And two, they probably nice somewhere else too. Take that for what you like. Or take that any way you like. And it's because y'all walk around thinking that being mean is cute, and it's not. Ain't nothing cute, ladies, about being mean. Oh, y'all quiet. Comment slow tonight. I don't care. Ain't nothing cute about y'all being mean. And then wondering why you're single. Or then wondering why your man winking at somebody else on the side. Oh, he got a whole sneaky link. That's why. That's exactly why. All right, let me move on. Instagram ain't talking at all tonight, but one person talking on Instagram. Instagram is completely quiet. I meant what I said. Thanks, sis. I see my sis on here. It's good free information. Like this free. And it's especially to all of you big head single women out here that's somewhat cute, that's wondering why you can't get nobody. I just told you why. You can get somebody. The issue is you can't keep them. You mean? And then you put statuses up. Child, I don't know why I'm so mean. LOL. I'm just so mean. Lord, send somebody that's nice to help me with my meanness. Yeah, he gonna send somebody. He gonna send somebody, all right. And you gonna get them. And then you gonna have them. And then everybody else gonna have them on the side. And then you gonna wonder why you never really got him. Or you gonna wonder why he with you for years, but he won't marry you. Now, I'm about to peep y'all on free game. Because a lot of you real cute women that's got bad attitudes, let me help you. I know y'all don't like this, but I'm going in on y'all. A lot of you real cute women out here that's got bad attitudes that can get just about anybody you want, but end up with men that you date for years and never get a ring. Let me tell you why you ain't got one. It's because you mean. It ain't because you ain't cute. It ain't because you probably can't make good babies. It ain't because you probably ain't maybe a decent woman. You ain't getting one. I'm starting to sound like the dude, the black dude. What's the black dude that be going in on some of y'all? Yeah, what's his name? I know y'all know who I'm talking about. Kevin Samuels, I believe is his name. Is it Kevin Samuels? I can't remember. People send me his clips all the time and tell me sometimes I sound like him fussing. It's the truth. Some of you cute women, the reason why you ain't got no ring is because you cute, but you mean, and he know it, but he like being with you. The sex probably good. You probably make a decent person to hang around with. But let me tell you something. No, this ain't bitter. No, listen, Nick. Let me tell you. And I can't put myself all in this. Pastor's fine. All right, and that's all I'm gonna say. I'm okay. Pastor's perfectly okay. I'm trying to help some of you rockheads because they ain't hurt me. I want to be very, very, very candid with you. Mean is not gonna get you a ring. And mean will have you in a situation where you what's her name? You Barbara. Is it Barbara? Hey Barbara, this is it's getting late. Y'all ain't had dinner. Hey Shirley, you're gonna end up in a whole Barbara and Shirley situation. It's the truth. And y'all don't like this because ain't nobody told y'all this. And I'm putting y'all on free game. A dude will date your pretty self and do everything else with you. But the reality is, until you fix your nasty attitude and stop praising your cuteness as being cool, you're not getting no ring on your finger. I said it. You don't have to like this. I'm just telling you the truth. All right, let me move on because I don't want people to think I'm giving better. No, far from that. Pastor's good. He's in a great place. I'm all right. Everything's well. But hear me, you're gonna end up in a Barbara Shirley situation with your cute self. All right, are y'all listening to me? Latanya wants to have a real table talk about this. I can do that. I'm thinking about doing a live getting back to my green room show because my Monday lives, I've done 2 of those a month for the last month and a half or so. I was supposed to do one this Monday, and this week has just been really busy. I think I may do one this coming Monday. But we can have a real table talk about this. I don't expect everybody to agree with me. This isn't Bible. This is Zeb talking right here. Okay, let me just preface this. All right. So if you mean, you ain't necessarily going to, go to hell, even though you can go to hell being mean. In fact, you're likely to go being mean. In my opinion, being mean is worse than being drunk. But that's just my 5 cents. Again, no sin is bigger than the other one. It's just my 2 cents. I've been around a lot of mean church people, and I'd rather be in church with people who smell like loud than to be in church next to people who don't smell like loud, who speak in tongues, but they mean as hell. I'm just telling you what I prefer. And what I prefer is to shout next to somebody who smell like loud, but they nice, versus shout next to somebody who smell like white diamonds and they speaking in tongues, but they mean. That's just my 2 cents. Okay. So I'm not saying that one sin is better than the other, but what I am saying is understand this. Being mean is not going to get you, especially ladies, to keep no spot. And guys, I'm not going to just make it about ladies too. Men, some of you men are mean too. Some of you men are mean too. And you mean to the ladies that you're connected to. You're mean to the ladies you're in relationship with. You're sure enough mean to some of the ladies you married to. And then you wonder why when old boy who ain't got as much money as you, he don't dress as nice as you, he ain't driving what you drive, but he in the box. You know why? Because he nice to her. He tell her she look nice. I'm giving y'all free game. I didn't went all off script. He tell her she look nice. Here you are. You've been with her for years. You ain't told her in years that she look nice. You ain't complimented her in years. And when she walks out the house is the only time she hears a compliment. And you wondering why. When you find out about the sneaky link, you look at him and be like, you left me for that? He don't look like you. He don't dress like you. He don't act like you. but he treat her better. Y'all don't like this. I know y'all don't like this, but I'm giving you some good word tonight. Now, I hear the comment, Sister Latanya, about sex. I hear you, but let me tell you, sex ain't everything. It's not. Some of y'all left good sex for average sex with sneaky links because they treated you right. Now, I know y'all won't say amen on the live. That's fine. You could just send me a DM and just be like, Pastor, you talk, and it'll be our secret. But you know I'm telling the truth. So men, y'all can be mean too. You treat and listen, I don't know about y'all. I wouldn't give, and some of y'all, I can't go there. I'm not gonna go there. It's getting late. I gotta wrap this up because this is about to go off the hinges, the rails. I might just say this for my live next week. This is just about to go off the rails. I will just say this. I'm gonna just say this right here. Let me just say this like this. I'm gonna say this like this, fellas. I'm looking at a lot of y'all side-eyed if you nicer to your boys than you are your lady. Y'all can take that whatever way you want to take it. I'm not going to go further than that because if I do, I'm going to get way in the deep end. But I'll be looking at some of you guys sideways that's nicer to your boys than you are to your woman. And I can take it a step further. Some of you prefer to hang out with your boys than you do your girl. And some ain't right. Now, I ain't talking about somebody you with that's mean, that's rude, that's not. If it's that bad, guys, you don't need to be with her. Ladies, if he that bad, you don't need to be with him. My thing is, if you're in there and if you're with them and y'all are together and you think they're decent people, why do you prefer to be with your boys more than you do with your girl? I'm just asking. So it ain't just the ladies. The guys, y'all be on some stupid stuff too. I don't mean no harm. Never mind. Just forget it. Just forget it. Let me move on. 3 practical ways to respond to relationship hurt. You ready? Let me give you 3 practical ways, because boy, y'all quiet. The ladies mad because I done told them Mean ain't gonna get them no ring. I done told them Shirley and Barbara looking for them. The guys mad because I didn't say it that you crazy if you rather be with your boys than your girl. Oh well, everybody mad tonight. I don't care, but I meant what I said. I mean, if you got the right one in your life, there is no reason. I understand, fellas, sometimes wanting to hang out with the guys. Don't misunderstand me. Y'all be taking my comments way out of context to the extreme. I'm not saying that sometimes it's bad that you want to hang out with your male friends. In fact, I recommend that. I think whether you are dating or especially if you're married, you ought to have time as a man to be able to hang out with your boys. And ladies, you ought to have time to be able to hang out with your girls. It ain't nothing wrong with the girls taking a girls trip. It ain't nothing with the guys taking a guys trip. And listen, I don't care if y'all's relationship ain't strong enough to where you can't go nowhere without your spouse. Something wrong. I ain't saying that it's bad that you want to go everywhere with your spouse. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is some of y'all with people and y'all act like y'all can't go nowhere without the person you with. And all I'm saying is something wrong with that picture. Something's wrong with it, especially if you're married. Something's wrong with that picture. You ought to be able to go out, guys, with the guys sometimes. And ladies, you ought to be able to go out with the girls sometimes. We use mad, probably don't agree, but not mad. I hear you, Nick. I hear you. It's the truth. It's just it's the truth. But I wouldn't get 2 cents for those of you in relationships where you got to go everywhere with the person you with and vice versa. You can't go nowhere without them. No. You ever heard the phrase absence makes the heart grow fonder? Sometimes you need a break. You do. You need a break. Then you come back together. You miss each other. Then you do what you do, and everything is great. You need a break. I see couples that I admire that I know personally, not just see on social media, that I know personally that do this well. They spend a lot of time with each other, but they also spend time with their friends. They hang out. It can be special events, homecoming, it can be birthday trip, whatever. They do this stuff and they have magical relationship. I think that's awesome. See, I ain't got time to deal with the codependency word, LaTanya, but you're right. A lot of y'all are very codependent in your relationships. You can't go nowhere without your spouse, and you can't do nothing without them, and you don't want them to do nothing without you. And I'm sorry, y'all, that sounds like some old Ike and Tina stuff. That's what that sounds like to me. So, you have to be very careful. I agree, sis. It's a heart issue. Meanness, without a doubt, is a heart issue. Meanness, in many ways, is an insecurity issue. It's an issue where we've got some unresolved things inside of us that we need to resolve. Okay? All right, let me move on because I'm way out there. 3 practical ways to respond to relationship hurt. I got to give this to you quick because I can't do a part 3 Sunday. I got to move on to something else. But I can tell this sneaky link thing didn't bother y'all. I might have something for y'all Sunday. Y'all mad about that sneaky link thing. I meant what I said. Some of y'all brought the cheating on yourself. And I said it. And I don't care if you don't like it. I'm not saying you're the blame for somebody cheating on you. Do not misconstrue my words. Y'all only like to share parts of stuff. Tell it all. I'm not saying that you're the reason for people cheating. But what I am saying is you can be a part of that, especially if you mean with your cute, mean self. It's crazy. You ever seen people that are really attractive and be like, man, why would somebody cheat on them? You ever seen that? But what you don't know, male or female, behind the scenes, they mean, they rude, man. They talk to their spouse any kind of way. They handle them any kind of way. They treat them any kind of way. They like public relationships. They like to look happy in public and look happy on Instagram and take good social media pictures. Thanksgiving coming. You'll see a lot of couples taking pictures on Thanksgiving. They don't even talk to each other. That kind of stuff where you have a relationship for the public, but privately y'all can't stand each other. And them be the main relationships where you got all kinds of sneaky links on the side. Huh? No, Nick, you ain't got to hush. Come with it. Nick said, tell him to man up then. I agree. I absolutely agree. If you're a man and you got a good woman, be good to her. Don't treat her like crap. And especially if she's attractive, and then be shocked when she got somebody on the side. What you think she gonna do? I know y'all have never been taught this from a pastor. But ladies, you ain't too far. Because you can be fine and attractive all you want, and you can do everything in the bedroom you do. But if he's an attractive dude, and he's a good guy, and he takes care of you, and takes care of your family, and takes care of all of that stuff, your house, and is great to you, and you treat him like crap privately, trust me, there's a lady out here somewhere that's hiding behind the bushes, waiting to be like, hey, Barbara. Hi, Barbara. This Shirley. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Y'all don't like this. It's the truth. This. All right, let me move on. I'm just all out here. 3 practical ways to respond to relationship hurt. Nick then signed off. Nick, don't leave. Don't you leave. We can do a table talk. I might make this my live on Monday. I might just deal with this. I'm going to hurt a lot of feelings. It's okay. 3 practical ways to respond to relationship hurt. And I'm done. I got 8:02. I got to hurry up. Mama, I'm coming. 3 practical ways to respond to relationship hurt. Number 1, you got to take the time to feel the pain. Record this. Number 1, you got to take the time to feel the pain. 3 practical ways to respond to relationship hurt. Number 1, take the time to feel the pain. If you're going to get over relationship hurt, you got to take the time to feel it. Some of you don't want to feel the hurt. And so you do things to avoid the hurt. Thus, you end up in whole seasons. You've been hurt. You had your feelings hurt. You try to get some revenge. You say, hey, I'm going to go out here. I'm going to just smash it out. I got cheated on. I'm going to go out here and I'm going to have fun for a while. Well, the problem is you be getting your head banged in, or you be banging heads in. But if you ain't took the time to feel that hurt, what you end up doing is you end up avoiding the very thing that wants to make you grow. You have to do what I call pookie it out. You have to pookie it out. Pookie it out. Think New Jack City. Think Chris Rock, New Jack City. When he was in the drug rehab center and he was shaking in the room and he wanted some relief, and the guys from Ice-T and them were worried about him, and they said, no, he fine. He's just going through the withdrawal phase. Leave him alone. Some of you need to go through that. When you've been hurt, you need to have a pookie season. How many of you can be honest enough to admit that you have gone through painful situations in your life where you needed a pookie season, where you literally needed some time to cry it out, to whine it out, to scream it out, to shake it out, to cut your phone off it out, to disappear it out, to whatever it is? That's called a pookie season. Why? Because you need to feel the pain and experience it so that you can grow on from it. And so many of you are so busy trying to avoid the pain of relationship hurt that you end up repeating the same hurts because you go right out of one situation and go to another one. You got to learn how to pookie it out. All right. So take the time to feel the pain. Number one. Number two, take a break from love. Y'all ain't gonna like this. Second thing you need to do is take a break from love. I said it. Some of y'all can't stand to have a season by yourself. You break up with somebody, 2 weeks later, you seeing somebody else. 3 weeks after that, y'all engaged to be married. Slow down. Take a break from love. If you've been hurt in a relationship, if you've been hurt or you did the hurting, because all of y'all ain't been hurt. Some of y'all did the hurting. If you've been hurt or you did the hurting, take a break. You need to take a break because contrary to popular belief, the fastest way to move on is not to get under somebody else. I'm preaching better than y'all saying amen. The fastest way to move on from hurt is not to get under somebody else. Well, child, pastor, they told me the best way to get over a man is to get under a new one. That's not it. Johnny said, well, pastor, how many seasons you want me to have alone in this ghetto here? I get it. It's real ghetto out here in these streets. Let me tell you something. You better off having some alone seasons than going out here selling for 5s and 6s instead of just pooking it out and taking a break from love until the right thing comes along. I'm telling y'all, take my word on this. Take a break from love. Never sacrifice your emotions. Listen to me. Never sacrifice your emotions or your body count to try to feel better. I'm going to say that again. Somebody needs to write it. Never sacrifice your emotions or your body count to try to feel better. Some of you have sacrificed your emotions. You have sacrificed your body count. You have sacrificed your mental well-being. You have aged yourself by 5 years with the folks you didn't dealt with because you have sacrificed all of that stuff in the name of trying to feel better. And you need to take a break from love. Some of you need to stop getting out of relationships and hopping right into new ones. Getting out of marriages and hopping right into. Take a break for a while. Recharge. Recommit yourself to loving yourself, which is the third step. You ready? The third step, because I want to say this. The other reason why you need to take a break from love, here's some more street barbershop knowledge for you. You ready? Because rebounds rarely work. Somebody needs to hear this. Because some of you came out of a bad situation. You went right into another one, and it was all exciting for the first 60 days. Let me tell you something. Rebound relationships barely work. They barely work. They can work. Anything's possible, but they rarely work. You know why? The reason why rebounds rarely work is because you don't give the ball enough time to just bounce and die before you go over there and try to pick it up. They rarely work. If you get out of a situation, you need to take some time. Well, Pastor, how much time I need to take? I don't have that answer, but here's a good formula for you. You ready for this? Here's a good formula. I give this to coaching clients that I've had. I've coached people through relationship stuff. Let me give you a good formula. The longer the relationship, the longer the time you need. If the relationship was 6 months, probably take a couple of days off, you'll be all right. Relationship was 2 months, probably take a day off, you'll be all right. Relationship was 6 years. You're going to probably need about a year, maybe 2, depending on how intense the relationship was, what was involved in that. The general rule of thumb is the longer the relationship that fell apart, the longer the time you need to grow beyond it. Does that make sense? All right. So again, rebound relationships barely work. Take a break from love. Here's the third and final thing. Establish or reestablish a commitment to self-love. Establish or reestablish a commitment to self-love. Self-love is the place where wholeness lives. Not wholeness, but wholeness. WHOLENESS. Not wholeness. Wholeness. Self-love is the place where being whole lives. When you grasp this idea of self-love, you are living in a space called wholeness. And some of you will never be able to love right until you spend some time here getting whole. When you love you, it's easy for you to offer love to a whole you. Not a whole you, a whole you. But you got to be whole first. Self-love, thank you, moderators. Self-love is wholeness. I know y'all ain't hearing that L that I'm saying tonight. It's wholeness, right? When you better love you, it's easy for you to offer others the whole you. When you love you, it's easy for you to offer to others the whole you. So you gotta spend some time loving you. Take a year off. Do some things you like to do. Do some things that you like to enjoy. Do some things that bring you happiness. Do some things that bring a smile on your face. Do some things that teach you how to be satisfied with you. Don't jump out of one relationship right into another one. Don't do it. And you've got to avoid temporary satisfaction, because it's real tempting out here in these ghetto streets to be hurt and jump right into another situation, a situationship, where you out here just getting temporarily satisfied until you heal. And before you know it, you're going to end up miserable. You're going to be tired of them. You're going to be tired of you, the whole nine. And you've wasted your time. You wasted their time. You upped your body count. You've done all of that. You need to take some time to just love you and get whole. And that way, when you pop back in the streets, you show up whole. When you show up whole, you end up attracting to your life what it is you deserve. I'm done, y'all. I'm done. I got to wrap this up. I'm going to be late. My mama going to kill me. Did this bless anybody today? This bless anybody in any way today? If it did, I want you to fill up with hearts. We're getting ready to pray. I want to pray for you real quickly. I got to hurry up. I got to do all of this in 3 minutes. If you got a prayer request, I want you to type your prayer request in the comments right now. This series, y'all, as you can see, it's life-changing, man. If you tune in, if you're bold enough to tune in, this will change your life. I want to pray for you. Every morning, 4:15, I get up, I pray over your prayer request. It doesn't matter what it is. I pray over your request because I believe in the power of prayer. So long while you guys are sleeping, 4:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've actually had people DM me on my social media to say, hey, Pastor, I'm up with you praying. I can't believe it. Some of y'all are real soldiers. And I've never asked y'all to do that. But I want you to know I appreciate that. I'm up. I get up. The only days I don't do it is Saturdays and Sundays. Saturdays may be the day that I may sleep until 7 or 8. If I don't have anything to do, it's just a reward for me. And then Sundays, I'll get up around 6 or so. But Monday through Friday, I'm up 4:15 in the morning. I'm praying over your prayer request. And so I want you to know I'm praying for you. If you got a prayer request, I want you to type it in the comments right now. I'm giving you 30 seconds. I got to hurry up. I want you to type it in the comments now. If you've got a prayer request that I cannot read out loud, you can email your prayer request to info@rehabcc.org. That's info@rehabcc.org. You can email your prayer request there, and I'd be more than happy to pray for you. Yes, I'm praying for your mental and emotional balance. Yes, I'm praying for your family. Yes, I'm praying for your friends. Yes, I'm praying for your spouses. Yes, I'm praying for your job situation. I'm praying for all of these things you all are typing in. I see the comments flying in. I want you to know I'm praying for you. I want you to know that you are just as much of a blessing to us as we've been to you. I'm so grateful and thankful for all of you on this day before Thanksgiving Eve. I'm so grateful and thankful for all of you for your support of rehab through the pandemic and moving into the future as we continue through this hybrid format for life. I'm excited about it. We are blazing a trail that other ministries many ministries would not dare do. but I'm excited about this. I enjoy teaching in this format, and I enjoy the impact that it's had on people's lives. Listen, y'all, I want to pray for you. Type in your prayer request. After you do that, I want you to clasp your hands like this as a sign symbol of faith. We're getting ready to touch and agree and pray right now. All right, let's do it. All right, let's touch and agree right now. Father, in Jesus' name, I thank you tonight for your word. Thank you for this time of gathering you've given us. I pray tonight that something was said or done that has encouraged somebody, strengthened somebody, that has challenged somebody to be the best version of them possible. I pray now, God, that as a result of your word, we might be able to apply these lessons we've learned tonight to our lives to be the best version of us that we can be. Help us, God, to deal with grief and trauma and heart hurt and heart pain in better ways, so that we don't take our lives and ruin our lives or waste our lives in spaces that don't deserve us, but that we might preserve ourselves to a space called wholeness, and we might be able to enjoy our lives to the max of what you've called it to be. Now, God, for every prayer request that's come across this line, we lift it up to you, that you would answer those prayers, make ways, open doors, meet needs as only you can. I thank you, God, for a week that is filled with miracles, open doors, made ways, met needs, new opportunities. That, God, you would do it as only you can. Even now, as we go into this Thanksgiving season, I even pray a special prayer for families, those families that will be dealing with the loss of loved ones, that will be dealing with the loss of family members during this time of semi-gathering that many people will have, that you would be a heart healer, a mind fixer, that, God, you would meet the needs of your people as only you can, that you would comfort them as we all gather together to be reminded of the many things we are thankful for. I thank you for these things and count them all done. In Jesus' name, amen. Do me a favor. I want you to type in the comments now, it is so. Quickly. Do it quickly. It is so. It is so. I want you to type it in the comments now. It is so. Type it quickly. It is so. I want you to know I'm praying for you. I'm praying for your family, especially during this Thanksgiving season that we're in, that everything goes well. You all be safe. Put your mask on. Don't be breathing on people over the turkey and all of this stuff. Put your mask on. Be very safe. But I want you to know I'm praying for you. I'm lifting up your prayer request, and I'm believing that God's going to answer your prayers. Listen, really quickly, I want to challenge you to give. As you're typing it in, I want to challenge you to give. If this ministry has been a blessing to you, I want you to type, prepare to be a blessing back to us. I want you to know that it is because of your giving that we have been able to sustain ourselves. And we are grateful for how you continue to bless and be a blessing to our ministry. You can give one of three ways. You can give via CashAPP at $REHABCCGIVE. That's $REHABCCGIVE. Through our website, www.rehabcc.org. That's www.rehabcc.org. Or by texting REHABWORKS. You can text REHABWORKS to 88202. That's REHABWORKS to 88202. And right to your cell phone, you will see a prompt. Click on that link. It's going to open a page. You fill in your information and you can give that way. But I want to challenge all of you to give that have tuned in tonight. If this ministry has been a blessing to you, I want you to remember your tithes. If you don't have a place to give tithes, you can certainly tithe here. And I want to challenge you to give a special offering tonight. And I certainly believe that God will bless you because of how you've been a blessing to us, a place that is really good ground. Again, you can give via CashAPP, $REHABCCGIVE. It's our website at www.rehabcc.org and simply choose online giving, or you can text REHABWORKS to 88202. That's REHABWORKS to 88202. And you can give right from your cell phone, and God will bless you. How? Good measure, pressed down, shaking together, running over. He'll send people to be a blessing to you because of the way you've given to us. Listen, y'all, I love y'all. I'm praying for y'all. I've got to get out of here. I'm 17 minutes over. And, but I'm praying for all of you. I'm rooting for you. I want you to have a fantastic week this week. And I'm praying that you have a great Thanksgiving Thursday. Be very safe. Again, be very mindful of your surroundings. Be very safe around your family and friends and loved ones. If y'all going to gather up, make sure everybody either got the shot or got a mask on. And let's make it through this holiday season without another sharp rise in cases. And it is my prayer that I will see you this Sunday at 9:08 a.m. sharp for another very powerful message as we continue this series, Thirst Traps, Cupping Season. It's going to be a blessing to you. All right. I love you guys. I'm praying for you. I'm rooting for you. Have a fantastic weekend, Thanksgiving. I'll see you Sunday. Peace and blessings.
For watching the Rehab Christian Center live experience. If this broadcast has been a blessing to you and you would like to be a blessing to our leader, Dr. Zeb Talley III, you can sow a seed into his ministry by CashAPP at $Pastor ZT3. It is our prayer that this message of hope encourage, enlighten, and empower you to be better. Please tune in Sunday at 9:08 a.m. for our Sunday morning experience. And as always, be blessed and have a